Hi, I'm Kaitlin Campbell, and I'm a senior at North Allegheny High School. For the past 4 months of my life, I have been studying Katharine Hepburn. Stored away on my computer are countless files, photographs of her from various points in her career, a Word document filled with seemingly random trivia about her life and family, films, interviews, recordings of her voice. Now, at this point, I feel it's necessary to clarify that, no, I do not have a strange obsession with Katharine Hepburn. I am a member of my school's speech and debate team, where I have participated in dramatic interpretation for the past 3.5 years. My piece this year is a selection from the one-woman play Tea at 5, which highlights various moments in Katharine Hepburn's career through her own eyes. Every piece of information that I have amassed is necessary in building my persona as the greatest actress in the history of American cinema. Now, interpretation differs from traditional stage acting in that as an actor, you essentially have endless resources, such as props, costumes, and time at your disposal. With interpretation, you have yourself, a business suit, and 10 minutes. Now, herein lies the challenge. In those 10 minutes, you must, armed only with the knowledge of your piece and your character, convey the central message of your performance to your audience. Now, I chose Tea at 5 because I see something of Katharine Hepburn in myself. We are both strong-willed, eccentric, outspoken, and admittedly very, very stubborn. Not only that, but the depth of the themes explored in Tea at 5 intrigued me, namely Katharine's reconciliation between her personal failures and her public image. And that is why performers choose the pieces that they choose, because something in that literature speaks to them and influences them in some way. The task then becomes projecting to the audience those feelings. This is best accomplished through character development. Now, the key word in this process is nuance, the physical and emotional differentiations that set apart a character from everyone else in the world. To demonstrate to you just how extensive this process of mastering nuance is, I would like everyone to try something with me. First, I am going to address physical nuance, which manifests itself in the form of mannerisms. So at this moment in time, right now, I would like you to examine exactly how you are positioned in your seat. And hopefully I've caught you off guard enough that you're in the most natural position you could be in this setting. So, for example, I tend to rest most of my weight on one leg. And I lead with my face whenever I talk because I want people to pay attention to me. So look at yourself. Where is your center of gravity? How do you carry your weight? Do you favor one side, the other, or no side at all? Now dig a little deeper. What are some motions that you are aware of that you repetitively perform? As you may have noticed, I talk with my hands a lot, and the more excited I get, the bigger my motions. This gives you the fundamental conception of your character. However, you cannot stop there. Now becomes the challenge of recognizing the little motions that you make repeatedly that you're not even aware of. Do you brush your hair out of your face continually? Do you twiddle your fingers? Do you touch your face when you're nervous? You must become aware of everything. Now I'm going to expand this challenge. The next time you're in public and you have a free moment, I want you to not only notice these behaviors in a stranger, but try to model them yourself. This is the level of attention that goes into building the physicality of a character. When I first decided to portray Katharine Hepburn, I thought the most complicated voice part would be mastering that voice. That was actually the easiest. What I didn't realize is that she has so many unique motions that she performed that I would have to model in order to create a convincing portrait of her. Now, next comes the challenge of emotional nuance. I cannot even begin to articulate how much time I have spent playing connect the dots with Katharine Hepburn's life, applying early childhood situations to events she experienced in her mid-70s. It's not enough for me simply to say, well, in this part of the play, she's sad because she has disappointed her father. If emotions in the real world were that simple, I think we would all have a lot less problems understanding each other. In actuality, how we respond to emotional situations is influenced by every other emotional situation we've encountered before that point. And that same attention to detail must be applied in establishing a character's emotional range, so that they come out looking like a real person and not just a parody of one. So let's examine that scene. Yes, Katharine is sad, and yes, she has disappointed her father. But beneath those lines, there is a vast subtext that tells us an entirely different story. Katharine Hepburn was closer to her father than any other family member, and she spent her entire life trying not just to meet, but to surpass his expectations. He originally did not want her to go into acting because he thought the career was beneath her and that she would never make a living out of it. Instead, he wanted her to pursue medicine. His condition for allowing her to pursue a career in acting was that she become a star and stay successful. Understanding this backstory gives a whole new meaning to the line, "I'm gonna make you proud of me again, Daddy," rather than if I had just resigned my analysis saying, simply in this scene, she is sad. We are taught in our literature classes that the message of a piece is universal and can be applied to many different situations. What we are not taught, however, is that each person understands and internalizes these themes differently based on their own set of personal experiences. If a person has recently lost a loved one, they will empathize with a piece depicting death much differently than someone who has underwent the same loss many years ago. It is necessary for the performers to understand how their own characters would react to each theme in their piece. Once this is accomplished, they can successfully present a new perspective to their audience. The process of character development is a never-ending one. A character's life story is constantly molding, revealing new clues about who they are and who they were, regardless of whether or not they are real or fictional. My time with Katharine Hepburn has only just begun, and my interpretation of her will doubtless continue beyond the time I have finished performing T at 5. Now I ask you to take what I have given you today and apply it to your own life. What a performer strives to achieve in that brief 10 minutes does not stop once the performance is over. Instead, I want you to strive to apply these lessons to your everyday life. There are millions of new perspectives at your fingertips that you can easily discover simply by stepping into the role of another. Thank you.